Hey everybody. Hopefully y'all are having a fantastic Sunday. I get asked quite a bit about the orientation process over at Nova Lines. Just to be clear, it's been a long time since I've done orientation. It's probably been about 2.5, 3 years, I guess. I'm almost positive a few things have changed. If you want more updated information, there's a guy, JT, that has his first day of orientation that he's done months and months and months ago. And I believe it's even labeled as first day orientation if you want to move on over and go check him out. If not, let me tell you about my orientation. Oh, and JT, I think, stands for Jockey Trucker. But when I did mine all those years ago, it was pretty simple and pretty upfront, straight to the point, and it was done at the old yard. Any of y'all know anything about that old yard? Whew. Boy, was that a nightmare to get into sometimes. I believe that they were doing their orientations way back in the day on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Maybe it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I digress. I came in on a Thursday. But like I was saying, it was pretty simple. All the communication was done, email and telephone call with Nova Lines, the recruiter. And basically what they did is they got me a rental car. And I had to go pick up the rental car from Enterprise, and then I drove it from South Texas all the way to Chicago. When you get up to Chicago, you return the rental car to the airport. And the hotel at the time Nova Lines put us up in, they had an airport shuttle van that would come and pick you up from the airport. The room that I was put up in was a very nice room. It wasn't dirty, nice and clean, on a good side of town that had some pretty good food around it. Super convenient because there was even a grocery store just a couple of blocks over. I was able to go get some groceries. That next morning, they'd come and pick you up and took you to their yard. You get checked in and go to the orientation classroom. At the time, on the desk, they had the little name cards, had my name on it, so I knew where to sit. Had a little welcome packlet that had, book, maybe baseball cap, beanie, pens. And the instructor would come in shortly after that. They'd go over everything with you in your Westinghouse and on your Pulse app to make sure that you were all caught up on all the little tests that you're supposed to take. And once that was all caught up, everything after that was all policy. Lunchtime would come around and they would feed you. And of course, they would have a few things about securement, and they talk to you about insurance. They give you all the ins and outs about being a 1099 contractor. And they had a slideshow that you would have to go through, and then they had a Nova Lines book on the table that you'd have to go through with the slideshow. And maybe at some point in time, you would have to tell a little bit about yourself. And if any of y'all have ever experienced that, it kind of goes something like this. Hey, my name is John Doe. I've been in the trucking industry since 1999. I've operated everything from KW200s to new model equipment. I'm very experienced in a 13-speed manual transmission, and I do know how to drive automatics. If you want to go into some accredited information that you might have about yourself, you could spill that out as well. And then they might want to know, what brought you to Nova Lines. Of course, there's going to be a little backstory about that. Never hurts, guys, to talk about chasing excellence and starting new endeavors. And once that's all out of the way, then y'all will probably start going over equipment and trailers. You might even catch a glimpse of the contract. And after that, you'd either go back to the hotel and get your equipment the next day, or they might have your equipment ready that day, and you'll get a little check sheet where you'd go out and go over all your equipment, make sure that the truck and trailer is up to your specification, DOT standard, make sure that the equipment's all good, everything on the checklist is on your truck. That'd be the time where you'd want to go over, make sure that there's no damage to any of the equipment, your tarp. You'd have already signed the contract. At some point in time during the mix of all this, you're going to meet your dispatcher on the telephone. During that time, you're probably going to tell your dispatcher what your expectations are. Your dispatcher is going to let you know what their expectations are. Y'all are going to meet in the middle, advise a plan, and send it off into motion. You're going to get your first load, probably be somewhere, a nice little pickup in Chicago, picking up pipe. And how about that? You're going to be riding off into the sunset. Orientation is as simple as that. And at the time, these guys don't train. They're hiring contractors to come in based off of their experience. And this is a very diversified commodity that we haul around on our open decks. So if you're wanting to come over and check it out, make sure that you have the experience. At the time I came in, I think they were looking for like 2 years of flatbed experience, but I think that has dropped. And if you like the content, this video, please name drop me, Old Rookie. They'd be glad to hear that. And make sure you give my video a thumbs up and a like, maybe share it. And have a great rest of your Sunday. I appreciate you coming over here watching this. Hey, professional drivers, welcome back to my channel. It is the end of the week, and I'm here to bring you my gross